Hi there, I'm Tricia Pine at rejoiceinyourvoice.com, home of the complete vocal system. I work with professional men and women whose voice is their livelihood. From singing to public speaking to being the face of your business, if you rely and depend on your voice every day, but are not getting the results that you want, I'm here to help. So this week, I want to give you a checklist, a hierarchy to work through when you're in between coachings, in between vocal lessons, or working with your speech coach so that you can start to problem solve some of the areas when you start to feel strain, okay? So I want to start at bare minimum basic question in your checklist. Are you getting enough sleep and are you staying hydrated? Those are two very important things that we often forget because we're just shooting through life, trying to get stuff done, getting to the next deadline. And we just take for granted for the fact that, well, sure, I didn't get enough sleep as I wanted, and maybe I didn't drink enough water. So check in there first if you start to feel strain. Am I tired? Should I just take a quick nap? Do I need to get the rest before I do the next gig? And always hydrate with water. That would be great. Not with soda. Okay, so the next part of the hierarchy is what's going on in the body. I'm always talking about body-voice alignment, the voice-body connection. Take a look at what's happening in your body when you're either singing that note or speaking that phrase or saying that word. Is your body supporting what's going on? Or is it not supporting what's going on? Is it collapsing underneath you? Is it super tense? Are you not feeling freedom in the ribs or in the low area of your body? Are your legs grounded? Or are you out of alignment in your posture? Just check in there, okay? So first the sleep and the hydration, then check in with the body to make sure it's supporting you as you're doing that note or that word or that phrase. Then what I want you to do is I want you to check in with the breath. Is the way that you're using your breath supporting you to make that sound? Or could you be possibly holding? Could you be pushing? Could you be doing both? It could happen. Sometimes we allow the breath to go up and we hold. We've got that little subglottic pressure, then it explodes through and the strain can happen. So check in with your breath. Make sure you're really moving it through efficiently, okay, and from that low belly place. The next thing I want you to check in is what's going on with the vocal mechanisms, the mechanics that are going on in here. Could it be that either in the lower part of the range, if that's where you're feeling the strain, or in the high part of the range, could it be that you're pushing there as well, bearing down in the lower range, pushing too hard, letting the larynx lift unnecessarily, flattening or depressing the larynx unnecessarily? Check in with that as well, making sure that those vocal folds can really vibrate freely. Remember, we are a wind instrument, and that's the reed, so work on the breath and then make sure that the mechanics of what's going on in the instrument are really as free and as open as you can make them. Okay, so test that out, see how that goes. The next thing I want you to think about is what's going on with the jaw and the tongue. Okay, so we've got some of the articulators here that we may need to relax. The jaw really doesn't need to be very involved. The tongue really needs to be working efficiently. Could it be that the tongue is kind of getting bunched back in the back that's interrupting the sound flow from coming through, that resonance, that it's getting in the way? Could it be that the jaw is really clenching down and overworking? Sometimes our tongue and our jaw really wants to sing the notes for us, and so they're really overactive on every single note, and it's not necessary. So if you can isolate that away, unhinging the jaw, dropping the jaw, relaxing the tongue forward just a touch, making sure it's not bunching in the back, then see what happens. Okay, explore with that. Perhaps that will help the strain. The next thing too I want you to think about is the resonance that you have, the natural resonance that you have. Are you really utilizing the mask? Are you really opening up into this space to feel the resonance that can happen in all of the structure here? Okay, so play with that as well. Sometimes we can really have great body posture and support, and we're free and flexible. We've got the breath moving through, the larynx is relaxed, and then we don't give it any place to go. So the soft palate may not be lifted enough, the mask may not be engaged, the tongue may be involved. All sorts of things can go on in there to kind of compound. But if you go through this hierarchy and start to check off, well, I think that's doing well. When you see your coach, when you see your vocal instructor next time, you may have an awareness or an enlightenment about what may not be supporting you for that specific spot and what you're working on. Does that make sense? Good. The last thing I want you to think about in this whole checklist is the mindset that you're bringing to this part that you may feel strain around. So, is it the feeling that you need to push your message? Is it a feeling that you're feeling behind and you have to rush? Is it a feeling that you need to be heard? Could there be something in the mindset, in the psychology, that may make you feel like it needs to be driven in that part of your voice, for that part that you may be feeling strain? Just check in. All of these things will not be fixed overnight. It's really a beautiful journey of awareness and openness and surrender. But if you check in, beliefs, physiology, are you getting enough sleep? Then you can really start to integrate the whole mind, body, voice, breath to really share your message in the most authentic, vulnerable, free, heartfelt, body-connected way. And that's what I want for you. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you showing up and being open to these teachings. Until next week, always rejoice in your voice. Bye-bye.